guys, it's Nora, and you guys may be able to tell there is a bit of a difference with something here today. Before we get into the video, I wanted to talk about the new changes coming to the channel, some of the changes that have already happened, and changes to come. So the difference that I'm hoping you guys can see is that I got a new camera. I got the Sony ZV-1, and I've not used it before. This is literally like the first time I'm using it, so please bear with me when it comes to like me recording. I'm also looking in the viewfinder to see if like the lighting's okay, but anyway. I also, as you guys have probably already seen, I kind of rebranded the channel. After looking at the channel, I was gonna like redo my intro, my outro, and the banner and my, I guess, logo and profile picture. I was gonna redo all of that because it's pretty old. And when I looked at my channel, I realized that a lot of the videos are things that Jacob and I are doing. Jacob and I got married. We never have said that on the channel either. The videos for the cruise are just coming out right now, but we got married after the cruise, so that hasn't been said yet. But anyway, I decided that I wanted to rebrand with the thought of a lot of the videos that we post are Jacob and I traveling and having adventures and having fun. So I figured, why not make it Adventures with Nora and Jacob. I put my name first, even though sometimes it sounds better with like Jacob and Nora, but I put my name first because the channel has more up in mind, and I'm still gonna post more videos like this where I'm like the only one in the video. But anyway, so the channel has now been rebranded, as you guys have seen. I also, hopefully by the time this video comes out, am going to be editing with Adobe Premiere, so please bear with me for that because I've only ever used iMovie, and that's going to be like a big learning curve for me. But anyways, let's get into the actual part of the video, which is my new job that I'm going to be starting next week. Before I actually talk about what the actual job is, because Jacob and I have not mentioned it on this channel, it was kind of an unexpected change, and because of that, I want to talk about and review the previous jobs that I've had as a nurse specifically, and discuss just like reasons why I left those or things that I liked about them versus why I'm leaving my current job. There are many reasons, and what my new job's going to be. Right out of nursing school, I decided that I've always been a peds lover. I love pediatrics, but it's really hard to get to the only single pediatric floor slash like children's hospital in this state you need to have experience in. Also has the 2020 class. So I ended up going into pediatric home health care, and it was shift nursing. And I liked it. I liked shift nursing. I liked pediatric home health care, but I didn't always love working in people's homes. It is very hard to work in people's homes, especially when the parents are there the whole time that you're there. I really liked going to school with the kids. I ended up working there for about 10 months. I was in between cases because the kid no longer needed care, and I also needed to get my tonsils removed and sinus surgery. So I was in between these cases, and I was like, I just have a feeling I meant to go back to the hospital. Like, in my heart, I know I have this feeling that like I meant to go back. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to continue home health nursing. Like, it is my fate that I need to go back to the hospital. I was like, you know what? It's perfect timing. I'll get my sinus and tonsil surgery, and then during that time frame, I can look for another job, and hopefully I will come out with another job by that time. Things that I loved about that job. I loved going to school with the kids. I loved that I could pick what hours I wanted to work and how many days a week. I loved some of the kiddos. I do better with like younger kiddos versus older kiddos. Now, when I was applying for jobs, the program, I was in a new grad program at my current job, which is an emergency department. It's at my local hospital. We do kids and adults there, although like we don't actually like, the kids can come and get care there, but if they're really sick, we just transfer them to the hospital that I'm now going to be working at. But the program that I was in as a new grad, even though I technically had 10 months of work experience, as well as I'd had my license for over a year, it was the pilot program for, I want to say, the ENA. So it was like we were like the first hospital to have it in the whole nation, and it was a good program. However, in the time that I've been there for a little over a year, I've had 4 sets of management, which has caused a lot of problems. And you know what? My ED is at like polar opposite of where we were when I started. We started off as a really great department, really great unit, had some really great people working for us. There were a lot of charge nurses who, when you're a nurse and you go into the ED specifically, you get a zone of patients. Usually you get up to 6 patients. On a normal day, you usually have 6. 2 of them are usually patients on stretchers. 4 of them are usually ones that require rooms. And also in ED, we also deal with behavioral health patients mixed into that. The problem with this is that certain charge nurses picked on people more than others. I being one that was picked on and given unfair assignments and given the crappy assignments. Like, everyone's supposed to rotate and have equal assignments, and everyone does their part in the zones that aren't as great as others, and there were particular zones that weren't as great as others, and people are supposed to be fairly put in them, and everyone just, has an equal part. Did not happen. Me and a few other people who are currently in the midst of leaving were picked on repeatedly and put back there. Management was aware of it. Management did not do anything to fix that situation, which created almost like a burnout effect for us. We were never in this department. Also, I maybe once every 2-3 weeks was offered a break. Never did I actually ever get legally the breaks that I am legally supposed to have, because always the excuses were understaffed, but management doesn't want to come out and help us and like take our zone so that they can legally give us a break. Dealing with behavioral health patients is very taxing. In the state of Maine, we have a huge behavioral health problem, and it was always in the back of my mind that these people are much bigger than me. For those who can't tell on camera, I'm about 125 pounds and I'm 5 feet tall, not even really 5'1". So when you're dealing with a manic patient who is 300 pounds and absolutely in a psychosis episode, and you restrain people, we very frequently restrain people because they're dangerous to themselves or others, it's always in the back of my mind that I might get absolutely the crap beat out of me because I'm small, and I don't like the thought of that. My license was probably put on the line a few times. When the hospital I'm moving to, their ER has a 1-to-4 ratio of patients for the ER. It really should, I think, in theory, if I look it up online, should be 1-to-3 patients per nurse, 1 nurse to 3 patients. My ED averaged 6. I at one point had 8 patients while a code was going on, where I was on orientation, and I was the only nurse on the floor with other patients who were very close to coding. And I was triaging a patient, so I couldn't even sit at the monitor and make sure that patients were still breathing. That's not right. Not right at all. I actually very frequently, a few months ago, had 6 patients, 2 of them being ICU level, which you're supposed to be one-on-one with them, and I had 2 of them out of my 6 patients, and still was expected to take care of both of them, as well as the other 4. So how am I supposed to be one-on-one with 2 patients, plus 4 others? Can you see where the problem is? This ED has had a lot of problems over time. There's even more than that I've even shared. There's a bajillion more problems. However, I came back, I haven't been like burnt out, although the emergency department also, you get like verbally abused all day long from patients and their families. That can also be really tough. And the emergency department has like one of the highest rates of burnout with nurses, because everything is blamed on us, and we are constantly degraded all day long by everybody. So it got to a point where I came back from art groups, which you guys are going to see the videos of for now, and I realized I'm not happy working in there anymore. I kind of started becoming miserable, not wanting to go to work. I was like just dreading it, and I kept getting really unfair assignments after I came back from vacation as well, and I just kind of sat one day and was like, I've lost my passion for it. It's not that I don't like emergency medicine, don't get me wrong about that, because I still have always had an interest in emergency medicine. This specific ED and the problems that have occurred, I just no longer have a passion for working there. I just need to change pace. And so I kind of unexpectedly was like, hey, I'm just going to apply for a few jobs that I've literally never not just been rejected for within 24 hours because I just didn't have the experience, but I still wanted to apply to them just in case. So the job that was posted that was never previously posted before was for the continuing care nursery, which is a part of the NICU. It's the NICU graduates, the ones that still need a little bit of care, but just aren't there yet for going home and not being in the hospital. So I am going to be in that unit, and I'm very, very excited for it. I love babies. Like I said, I usually do better with the younger ones. It is going to be night shift. The only pediatric jobs that they had available were on the actual pediatric floor. The continuing care nursery, I would not want to ever work in PICU, and in NICU. So I purposely picked continuing care because it's a smaller patient ratio than it would be on the regular pediatric floor, and I also enjoy the younger babies. So yeah, night shift is going to be definitely a change. I've never not done day shift, which is I'm pretty lucky for, but if it's a unit that I'm really going to love working on, I'm all for it. It's a gigantic pay raise as well. It is $4 plus an hour. $4 being base pay, not night shift differential or weekend differential. And it's the same amount of weekends as my last job. It is technically the same hospital system, so I'm not technically quitting my job. I'm just transferring department. And that all starts next week. Yeah. It's definitely going to be a big learning curve. They are going to have to train me for NICU as well. Sometimes the census will be that babies will sometimes also be in NICU that are continuing care level, so I might float over to NICU. They might even float me over to the peds floor if the babies are over there as well, and they might also float me to do a delivery, which I'm not really excited about. I don't really want to do that. That makes me nervous, but that's an option as well. So I do have to do 3 months of orientation plus 1 month separately of NICU orientation, but I'm really excited for it. Maybe this will be like the thing that's like my thing, my one unit I want to be on. Maybe it will be, I mean, maybe I always love peds, so maybe peds is still my thing, and this is just a good job experience. I don't really know. I'm really excited for it because I also get to take care of babies the whole day. They can't swear at you, they can't be rude to you, they can't necessarily tell you like no when you're just trying to do lab tests and it's needed, obviously with parent consent, but yeah. That is the future. I do have to drive 25 minutes on the highway, which I don't love, but if it's to a job that I love, then it's 100% worth it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe I will do like a night shift routine for getting ready in the morning and like coming home. I don't really know. And maybe I'll do like essentials. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how my job goes. I still have to like do a whole week of training before I can like get to my actual shifts. They also at the hospital just came to a conclusion with the nurses union, so that's gonna be like a big change of everything that they decided on. So I'm just really excited. It's gonna be really, really fun, and we're gonna see if I'm a good NICU nurse. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.